Black when you see crack. Better duck like the Mac, gotta use pads. Nigga, what shit? I don't give a fuck. I run these streets, y'all talk that shit. I want that beat. I'ma tell you like a G told me, they'll come back quick if the nigga OD. So some of that is, forever ain't mine, forever ain't mine. This is a king without a king. What's up? Welcome to the live. What it is, what it is, what it is. What it is. What it is. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. What's up? What y'all going on? Welcome to the live. What it is, what it is, what it ain't. For those who don't know, man, my name is King Hoodie. I'm a recording artist from Miami-Dade County, Florida. I make music. You should check me out on all social media sites. KingHoodieRaps on everything. And yeah, man, that's just me. You feel me? I'm new to going live on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? I want to build connections and build friends and get it popping with people up in here. That's what it is. Tamika, what up? Wizgir, what up? Dinah Harris. What y'all got going on today, man? I'm just here. I was actually... I'm in the middle of reading these two books. These are the two books that I'm reading right now. Oh, hold up. Let me see if I could mirror. These are the two books that I'm reading right now. Quantum Success. This is the one that I was reading yesterday. And like for anybody who like fucking with me, you was in here yesterday, you heard me talking about this one, and this is a fire ass book. This is talking about like the chapter I was into was the lady was talking about paradoxes, how like in our life we're making paradoxes and we don't even know it. Sexy the model, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Yeah, y'all make sure to follow me, man. I'm new to the platform, and yeah, I'm out here. So this one is a fire ass book. It really talks about like how to get your mind right and how to like really assess the energy that you got around you and make it so that like, yo, you can really take advantage of what you got. You know, affirmations are powerful. Like, read it. I didn't think book was gonna be nothing because it was like real regular looking, but it ended up being a super fire book, like one of the best books I ever read. And then this is the other book that I'm reading right now too, Traction. I got a friend from Philadelphia who runs a multi-million-dollar co-working space. And I was like, bro, you gotta tell me how you did that shit. And he was like, yo, go and read this book. This book, Traction, I run my entire company on the system that this book talks about. And I was like, okay, cool. And he was like, yeah, as long as you get it popping and do the system, as long as you do this system, you good. You're gonna make millions and your team is gonna be happy, your team is gonna be well put together, you're gonna be good. So just get popping. But yeah, those are the two books that I'm reading right now. I make music, for those who don't know. I was also telling motherfuckers for a long time, like, yo, I also model and I also act and I also do this and I also do that. But at the same time, I'm realizing now, like, you gotta specialize, man. You can't be the kind of person that's doing a bunch of different shit. Lamont, thank you for the follow. Drea, thank you for the follow. Send me that. I got you. What it is, you talking about one of the books? Which one you talking about? Yeah, I got both of these, man. Both of these are really valuable books. And I'm the kind of person that I really like reading. And I really like reading now because I didn't like reading in the beginning until I found out, like, bro, there's something that happens to you when you read books. So, and it don't happen when you watch TV. It don't happen when you outside at a concert. The shit is like, it only happens. You have a twin. Who's the twin? Mina Springer, thank you for the follow. The second one. Traction? No, this is fire. This book helps you organize your business properly. Like, it's a book written by a dude named Gino Wickman. It's called Get a Grip on Your Business. It's called Traction, Get a Grip on Your Business. And it helps you get a grip on your business. Like, there's this, it's funny. All right, so I'll give y'all a quick story real quick. Let me turn some of this music down. I'll give y'all a quick story. So a friend of mine told me he runs a multi-million-dollar facility in Philly. Oh, wow, you gorgeous. Ah, thank you. You listen to Bob Proctor? I love Bob Proctor, yo. Bob Proctor is my guy. I love Bob Proctor, man. I got one of his books. I got to read it. The book I got is called You're Born Rich, and I got to read that. But yeah, I love Bob Proctor. Wow, you're gorgeous. Thank you, yo, Canto. I appreciate that. Thank you for the follow. Y'all make sure to keep following me and send some of those gifts, man. I appreciate the gifts. So look, this book Traction helps you organize your business, right? Philly. Oh, that's right. Yo, my homie Will Thomas from Philly. If you ever heard of Rec Philly, Mina, you from Philly? If you ever go to like your downtown area in the mall, there's a co-worker space called Rec, R-E-C. And that's what it is. Ray, why you're cut and bun clean? Thank you, man. My bun actually ain't as clean as I would like it to be right now. I kind of look a little crazy, but I had to jump on a live because I promised myself that I would. This whole week I'm going live at 10, and I had a call that kind of went over, so I didn't get started until like a little later right now. So, but I'm looking to be as consistent as possible, man. I'm realizing like if you want to be successful in life, you gotta be consistent, bro. Like you gotta be able to be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. You feel me? Ain't look that fuzzy at first. Oh, I guess I played myself then. I'm out of here. But yeah, my homeboy Will Tom, who's one of the owners of Rec Philly, this creative co-working space in Philadelphia. I asked him, I was like, man, you took your business from just a random room in a random abandoned building where you and your friends were just making art into like a really dope business. You know what I'm saying? How did you do that? Ray, thank you for the follow. How'd you do that? And he was like, man, I did it by reading this book. There's a book called Traction written by Gino Wickman. And I read the book, and then I made my partner read the book. And then we both realized, okay, cool, I need to play this part, you need to play that part. And then we just follow what the book says. Like, make everybody else follow what the book says. Just do the rules, bro. Just do it. And inside the book, they got something called the VTO, right? So this is like a chart that you get inside of the book. It's called the Vision Traction Organizer, right? And it looked like a complex little box, but it really isn't. So you pretty much go to it and you just fill in the values. Like, okay, cool. What's your company name? My company name is King Hoodie because I am my business, you know? And then it's like, all right, cool. What are your core values? So it gives you a exercise for like asking your team around you what your values are. So you got to go in a circle, pretty much list the best qualities of the best people in your company. Like, oh, you know, everybody here is really trustworthy. Everybody here is really loyal. Everybody here really kind of does, you know, honorable work and is respectful and is hardworking and is diligent and stays late. All right, cool. So your core values might be loyalty, overtime, like whatever your core values might be, you got to write them down, though, list them. So these are my core values. My core values are the fight, passion, fearlessness, consistency, hard work. And those are my 5 core values. So I take them, I define them, and break down of everything. Yep, exactly. And so I wrote all my core values out, and it's like, okay, cool. Once you got your core values, you're gonna use these core values to see who's in your business that belong there and who don't belong there, right? And then you go to your core focus, like what's your purpose for doing what you do, and then what's your niche? Like, oh, my passion, the reason why I do what it is that I do is because of these reasons. Like, my purpose is serving the unseen. I like serving the unseen because growing up, I'm the only boy in a house full of girls, right? So I got 3 sisters, and then outside of them, I got 3 female cousins, and I was just surrounded by 6 girls since I was a kid. So I really had to, they kind of pushed me to the side, and I was just the only boy in a house full of girls. So I had to kind of raise myself while all my sisters and cousins were able to play with each other. Willie, thank you for the follow. While all my sisters and cousins were really able to play with each other and hang out, I kind of had to raise myself and create this imaginary world for myself and play by myself and alone or sit in front of the TV or something like that. So, like, and then on top of that, in middle school, I was getting bullied. Like, I was getting bullied in middle school like crazy, and at the same time, I was also getting bullied at my house. But I didn't know at the time that that's what bullying really was. Like, I didn't know bullying was just somebody asserting themselves on you in a way that's like, makes you feel really bad, but they're just doing it just so they can feel a little better about themselves. Like, I had no idea what the concept of being bullied was at the time. So I'm getting bullied at school, getting beat up at school, and then I'll go home and I'm getting beat up in my house. So it's causing like this conflict in my life. And so I ended up like creating this inside world for myself. I ended up just creating this like, you know, like solo world just for me. So now when I make music for people who feel unseen. Like, cause I know what it's like to feel unseen. I know what it's like to feel unheard. I know what it's like to be really shy, really reserved, really to yourself. You call yourself a chill person or an introvert or whatever, but it's really like fear. It's all fear. It always breaks down to fear. You know what I'm saying? So my core purpose is like, I want to make music that serves the unseen. I want people who don't feel seen to feel seen. You know what I'm saying? Shreveport, LA, Capricorn. Okay, that's what's up. I don't know what that has to do with anything. But yeah, my thing is to serve the unseen, right? The next thing you fill in is like your 10-year target, right? What's your niche too? Like, what do you do? Okay, well, I make high quality rap music. all right, cool. That's the way that I get my shit done. Like I make high quality rap music and experiences that that are aimed at my target audience. You know what I'm saying? Thanks to social media, I know exactly who my target audience is. My target audience is really like Black Americans between the ages of 18 to 34, 60% males, 40% females who live in Miami, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Houston, and New York. Like I know exactly who my audience is thanks to social media. So I was able to put my target audience in here too, like where that's for that. So my 10-year target, I know what my 10-year target is. And I just filled it in. Like it's kind of a lot of information, but like I know what my marketing strategy is. I know who my target audience is. My 3 uniques. I gotta have 3 uniques, like the things that make me different from everybody else. Like, oh, my music is a certain kind of music. The way I do it is a little certain kind of way, and so on and so forth. And then my proven process, the way that I go about my things. And I know this is like really analytical, right? And so it's like I don't really want to get into super detail about it. But then you also go to like your 3rd-year picture, and then you write, your 3rd-year picture. Sil, what's up? So I just got back on live yesterday. It was my first day jumping back on live. I got so many questions. Distracted Dog Mom. Appreciate you, Sil. And then you fill in your 3-year picture, like what it is you want your thing to look like, what you want your company to look like. And I actually took all this information on this chart and did what they told me. They said, take this information, put it on ChatGPT and tell it to write you a 1-year plan for your life or for your business. And it'll take all this information and turn it into a 1-year plan for you. And you could take it and make it a quarterly plan. So now I got a 1-year plan and a quarterly plan. I know exactly how my week should look like till the end of the year. Sil, what's up? Good to see you. It's good to see you too. Thanks for jumping up in here. So yesterday was my first day going live in forever. I got to apologize to you so much. I've been way off the map, way off the radar for months. Since they kept kicking me off in October, I kind of never got back on. But yo, I want to thank you so much, Sil. I was thinking about you, I'm like, man, I didn't want to hit you up until I was consistent with the lives. And I'm like, okay, now I can reach back out to Sil and, get back in her good favor because I've just been off it for so long. So yeah, how are you doing, Sil? You good? You're totally fine. No, things have been busy for you. They absolutely have. Let's work, bro. Let's work, Dave. Let's get it popping. Hazel E, yeah, what's up? Welcome to the live. Yo, I got this mic that I got, but it wasn't working. So I got to find a way to make my mic work now. I got like this lapel mic. I was fighting with it yesterday, but I got to figure out a way to make it work. But yeah, man, I don't know how I ended up into talking about that. Oh yeah, because I was talking about the 2 books that I'm reading right now. I'm reading this book, Quantum Success, which ends up being like a really good book. And then this book, Traction. So this is really for your spirit and for your mind. This just helps you get your mind right and helps you like really kind of get your stuff together. And it doesn't look like a really awesome book because I don't like the cover of this book, I'll be honest, but it's a great book. This book is amazing. I got friends that run multi-million-dollar businesses that are ran off this system. It's a system in here. The guy's just talking about like, yo, if you have a business, follow this simple system and your business is going to be successful. And the guy's right, bro. Like his system is absolutely right. I have friends who like really do good. And that's where this chart comes in. Like this little chart comes from inside of that book. And it's like, man, if you take this chart and you fill in the information, then you and your organization fill in the information to obviously do the work. Your organization is going to do really like productively. You know what I'm saying? I heard you talking about ChatGPT. Is it really useful? Yo, for me, yeah. Like I wasn't using it initially, but now I'm starting to use ChatGPT and I really like that shit. I'm going to tap it for sure, bro. Yo, tap in, Dave. Let's get to it. Tap it with me. So what exactly are you selling? Me, I sell music, physical products, and live experiences. So I'm a recording artist. So like one of the dopest products that I got right now is my members area. I'm actually building it out as we speak. But like my members area is gonna have like a bunch of really cool like shit in it, like cool features, cool people. Like I want to create like a real hub of activity where people could come together, express themselves, share ideas, just get really cool like behind the scenes content. And that's like one of my main things. Also live shows. I got a live show coming up on the 29th of this month, which is crazy because when the fuck does February have a 29th? So I'm gonna do a show on an invisible day at the end of this month. But yeah, that's pretty much it, Pogi. Appreciate the question. But yeah, Alice, ChatGPT. I've recently started using ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is really cool for me. Like, I'll be completely honest. So I really started using it because of this. I went to this company called Wealth Creator, right? There's a crew called Wealth Creators. They had a millionaire mastermind in Atlanta at the end of last month. And luckily, one of my friends was a part of it, so they flew me out. And so when I went to it, the guy's talking about like all these different investments you can make. How do you use your IUL, which is a index universal life insurance policy, as an investment vehicle, like take it, you put your money in there, and it grows at an interest rate that's faster than what the banks give you. So instead of me taking my money and hiding it in my closet, if I take my money and hide it in my life insurance policy, I can pull that money out at an increased interest rate because they're giving me a high interest rate. Like he was talking about a lot of just different money making stuff, but he ended up saying if you run a business and you want your business to be successful, I highly suggest using the system that I use, which is called Traction. And I was like, oh shit, I got Traction, bro. I read Traction. I know about that. He's like, yo, fill in this strategy. So I filled in the strategy, and then by the end of it, he was like, look, fill in this strategy, and then you got to go and you got to fill in the back. If you notice, I haven't filled in the back, but I got to go fill in the back. He was like, yo, fill in this chart, and if you want to make your life a lot easier, once you fill in the first page of this chart, take all of this information, go to ChatGPT, and ask it to write you a 1-year plan for making your business do what you want it to do, and it's going to write you like a well-designed 1-year strategy plan for you and everybody in your organization to do exactly what you need to do. So I went in ChatGPT and I did that, and it gave me like I'll show you. It gave me like the dopest 1-year plan ever. And I'm like, oh, this is fire. Let me see. I'll show you what my 1-year plan look like thanks to this ChatGPT. Check it out. So I was like, man, look, write me a 1-year strategy plan on how I can make this stuff come to, hold up, that was this. Write me a 1-year plan, and it wrote me the 1-year plan. Like, look at this. My King Hoodie 1-year plan. For those who don't know, I'm an artist. My name is King Hoodie, and my business is predicated on me. So I'm like, all right, cool, boom. It wrote me a 1-year plan. I was like, ChatGPT, give me that. What's up, King? How you feeling? Yeah, so I took the information from that chart. I said, ChatGPT, write me a 1-year plan. This was like, yo, achieving significant growth in revenue and career advancement while staying true to our core values and purpose. My revenue target apparently is $500,000 this year. I got to aim for a profit of 30%, which is 150. Key metrics, like how I monitor. So I got to monitor my paid bookings, and it shows career advancement, the action steps that I got to take. Like, it wrote me this 1-year plan, bro. Like, I can't make this up. Releasing music, it shows me, okay, I got to release at least 2 projects this year. I got to have live experiences, product sales. I got to, get into members area growth. I'm like, damn, this is fire. And then I was like, okay, cool. So I filled in this little chart about what I want my business to do. And then I put it into ChatGPT, and it gave me a 1-year plan. I was like, okay, cool, that's cool for 1 year. But like, okay, I don't know what to do now though. So I was like, okay, well, and as of now, give me a plan that I can do like today. So I was like, all right, cool, give me a quarterly to-do list. And so this shit gave me a quarterly to-do list. Like, I highly recommend ChatGPT now, Alice. Like, there's no way around it. I was like, look, now take my 1-year plan that you just gave me and give me like what I have to do each quarter in order to make that 1-year plan happen. So ChatGPT yet again gave me a quarterly to-do list. Look, from January to March, this is what you need to be doing. Release the music, do some live experiences, develop new products, get new members into your members area, and perform with performance monitoring. From June to April, oh wait, where'd the rest go? Yeah, from June, what's happening here? Hold on. From April to June, yeah, I don't know what's happening with this shit. It's scrolling weird, but it broke it down into quarter. Yeah, what the fuck is this? It broke it down into quarters, and it's like, yo, it tells me everything I need to be doing from January to March. From January to March, that's what I got to be doing. Then from April to June, that's what I got to be doing. Then from July to September, and then September to the end of the year. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then I even took that shit, being twice as lazy, and I was like, yo, now tell me what I got to do each week. And I was like, okay, this is what you got to do every week in order to hit your goal. So now I know what I got to do this week, this month, this quarter, this year, in order to meet my 3 years, in order to meet my 10 years. So it helps. I get what the app is now. Thanks for answering the question. Absolutely, Alice. I highly recommend it. Like, it's just a tool that I don't even know how it does what it does, but it does it well. I highly recommend ChatGPT for everybody and anybody. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, I just started using it. And I only started using it because of this mastermind that I went to. The guy was like, yo, bro, if you want to make your life easy, fill in the chart and then put it up. So if you can't tell, man, my business is really important to me. Like, I really want to be as successful as I could possibly be. And I know that it requires like organization. It requires like having different people in different places, playing different positions that will allow you to ultimately yield the kind of benefits and the kind of like market saturation that you want. So music is like the industry that I'm in. The music industry it's much easier to dominate it than a lot of people think. It just seems impossible. And it seems impossible because most people don't have strategies that they can actually use. Some people have perfect strategies and they don't know how to implement it. And then some people are just implementing shit with no strategy. And so they're putting out a lot of stuff in random places and it's not connecting. It's not making sense. So I think that we as a people, we just got to like stay completely, informed. And I think that's like a helpful little tool that will help us do that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's absolutely what I think for that. But yeah, I had no intention of coming on here and like talking about like ChatGPT or anything like that, but it just ended up being what it is. And I just highly recommend it, man, to anybody. If you want to be successful and you want to be happy, there's people out here who have done exactly what it is that you want to do. We as a people, we just got to tap in and get to that information. The only barrier between you and whatever it is that you want in this planet is the information that someone else has that you don't have. You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't have the information that's going to help take me to the next level, then I can't really expect to get to the next level. I can only say, okay, well, I don't have that information. I can sit and be like, okay, well, I have no idea how I'm going to accomplish that, so there's no way to do it. Or I could say, yo, bro, someone else has already done the thing that I want to do. Let me just pay attention to what they did and copy them. Copy them, model them, whatever verbiage you want to use. Like, let me just do what they did. And another thing that I'm realizing is that I just got to keep shit simple, man. I think I overcomplicate things sometimes. From my experience, you can make it happen. Don't let any of the negativity get you off your path. That is so true, Alice, 1,000%. And I think a lot of times we as people, like that happens to me a lot, man. And sometimes I get really discouraged about stuff. I'm like, man, there's a billion different reasons as to why I get discouraged, but I think like I just allow myself to get bogged down sometimes by other people's belief systems. If somebody says something is impossible, I'm like, well, I don't think it's impossible. I think everything is possible. But at the same time, you saying it's impossible and you standing right next to me isn't helping me do the impossible. You feel me? You want to surround yourself with people who believe like in what you believe in or believe in each other, I love being around motivated people. I just got off the phone with an artist before I jumped on here, like a visual painter. Man, I love this guy's work. Like his work brings me to tears sometimes. And so I reached out to him in a DM. I was like, hey man, I really want to work with you on my next project. Like I really want you to make the cover art for what it is that I'm doing. And he was like, man, I'm enthused. I'm a fan of yours as well. Let's make it work. And so we just jumped off this hour-long conversation. And I was really excited about it because I'm like, yo, man, you want to surround yourself with people who understand your vision. If you're surrounded by people who like are realists, like a lot of pessimists disguise themselves as realists nowadays. Like, oh, I don't mean to be negative. I'm just being honest. No, you're being fucking negative. And that's all that it is. Like there's no way around that shit. Like I know when I'm in the presence of somebody who's a realist, and I know when I'm in the presence of somebody who's negative, who's a pessimist. Like a realist is gonna say some real stuff that's real, but they're gonna say it with the kind of tone that's like, okay, cool. When you do that, make sure you get this, and this in order, because those things are gonna help you, and these other things might hurt you. So make sure you do these things so they help you. Cool, that's a realist. A pessimist is someone like, I don't know how that's gonna work, bro. I've never seen anybody make that happen before. And you know what else? Like, not a lot of people from our community can even make that happen. And you know what else? Like, how are you gonna get from here to there? You gotta have like money in order to make anything that you wanna have happen. It's like, nah, bro, you're not a realist, you're a pessimist. The first person is a realist, someone who says, yo, when you go to start that multi-million-dollar business, make sure you have legal, make sure you have a tax, a person, make sure you have, just whatever. Make sure you have a bookkeeper and make sure you have, someone who could, send emails for you. You got those 4 things? Yeah, you're going to be good. Like, that's a realist. Like, that's just somebody who's keeping it real with you. Like, okay, cool. You want to be the world's biggest, I don't know what else, farmer? Cool. Make sure you have enough land to do what you want to do and make sure that the seeds are good. Yeah, good. That's a realist. He's right. That's real. I need enough land and I need enough seeds. But a pessimist is going to be like, I don't think you should go into farming because, man, a lot of farmers are having it really hard right now. And I don't mean to deter you. I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm just being real. I'm just, I don't want you to get hurt. It's like, nah, man, you're projecting your fears and your insecurities and your doubts onto me, and you're fucking up my dreams and goals because of all that you can't see. And you can't see it because you're not here. You're not at my vantage point. We're standing next to each other, but our paradigm is radically different. The way we're seeing the world is totally different, bro. So there's nothing that you can really tell me. As long as you have that tone of pessimism, there's nothing that you can really tell me that's going to like move the needle for me in my life. So it doesn't really benefit me to listen to you. And we as a people, bro, like, and I keep using the term we as a people because like I'm an independent artist and an entrepreneur. So I have to create these different avenues for revenue streams on a regular basis. You know, like I got to create dope shirts. I got to create dope live shows. I got to put out dope music. I got to create dope videos. And then I got to create other kind of dope products that allow people to like, you know, come into my ecosystem. And like, it's really easy to get thrown off a track if you got people next to you that just are negative, bro. You want to stay positive at all times, like delusionally positive, you know, correct. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate that. Nah, real talk. You want to stay as positive as you can, man, because positivity can make the impossible possible. But negativity can make the possible impossible. Damn, that's a bar, and I should write that down forever. I'll say it again, because I never heard nobody word it like that, but it's true. Positivity can make something that's impossible possible. Negativity can make something that's possible, like simple and possible, impossible. You know what I'm saying? If you're negative, you won't even be able to do like regular shit. But thank you for the follow. Like if you're negative, you won't even be able to do regular shit. Like a negative person can't even go in and get a regular job. You know, you're so fucking negative, no one wants to hire you for real. Oh yeah, you know, how's your life going? It's really terrible. You know, my kids are acting up and my wife, I think we're gonna get a divorce. And then also, you know, I think I might have a drug addiction. Cool. I'm not hiring you. You sound like a train wreck. You know what I'm saying? Like your life sounds terrible. I don't want to be around you. And the sad part is you're breathing, you're alive, you probably have all your limbs, like your life probably isn't that terrible, but you make it seem so awful that no one wants to be around you. You know, so like positivity, bro. Positivity is everything. If you stay positive, crazy shit will happen for you that doesn't happen to anybody else. I'll give you a quick story real quick. At the end of last year, really it was like October of last year, I got flown to Egypt and I also got flown to Ghana completely for free, right? My sister got an opportunity to go to Egypt and she didn't want to travel alone. She's like, hey, bro, you want to come with me to Egypt? I'm like, I don't have the money to go to Egypt right now. She's like, I'll pay for everything as long as you want to come. I just don't want to travel alone. I was like, oh, shit. Hell yeah, I want to go to Egypt. I'm definitely going to Egypt. Let's go to Egypt. And we flew to Egypt. We went to the edge of the world, hung up by the pyramids. We went to the Red Sea. We went snorkeling in the Red Sea. It was incredible. Like the whole experience was fire from top to bottom. Egypt was awesome. And I didn't pay I didn't spend $1. I didn't spend any of that money. My sister did serendipitously was like, yo, boom, let's go get it. Let's go. And so I'm like, okay, cool. All I had to do at that point was accept it. I was like, all right, cool. I accepted the offer and I went. It wasn't without its challenges because we had planes get canceled and all kind of shit. But like we went and we had a great time. That same month, I fly back from Egypt. I'm on top of the world. I'm like, wow, that's crazy, man. Like I just went to Egypt. This is awesome. My life is crazy. That same month, another friend of mine said, hey, I'm going to Ghana. You want to come? I'm like, bro, I'll be honest. I don't have the money to go to Ghana right now. He was like, damn, I really wanted you to come. Well, do you have the time to come? I was like, well, yeah, I have the time to come. I just don't have the money to come. Okay, well, cool. Look, check it out. If you have the time to come, just call my assistant. My assistant's going to book your flight and she's going to come. I think this will be a really great experience for you. Don't worry about anything, bro. Just come with me. I'm like, bro, word? I'm like, yeah. And so I got flown to Ghana for free. And my friend was like, yo, put me on a plane and went out there. I think my flight alone was like $2,500. And I was like, damn. And flew out there and had a ball in Ghana in this big ass 10-bedroom house. We were out there for 5 days. We saw everything. And we had a vibe. We went eating out every night. We met like foreign dignitaries and shit. We met a king. We met the great nephew of the Ashanti king, who's like a diplomat. Man, we met the president's daughter. Like we did a lot of shit because this guy is super rich. And I was like, man, this is awesome. Came back here, right? So here's the crazy part of this story. I did all that with no money. And then I came back with more money than I left with, right? It was probably busting. Bro, the trip was fire. Trip was amazing. So I came back here. When I came back here, my friend of mine told me, yo, bro, you're delusional. I was like, what do you mean? I just came back from Egypt and Ghana in October. I never left the country before, and then here I am traveling internationally twice in 1 month. That just goes to show you how fast your life can change, right? Flew out, flew back. One of my friends is like, bro, you're delusional. I'm like, delusional? What do you mean? Like, yeah, you're delusional, bro. Like the way that you live your life is unrealistic and nobody else can possibly live life like that. Like, that's crazy. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean it's crazy and I'm delusional and no one can live life like that? I said, yo, bro, look, I can understand, like, maybe you don't know what delusional means, but like, I can understand if I was imagining going to Egypt and I imagined myself in Ghana and I never went anywhere. That's kind of delusional, right? But I literally just jumped off the plane in far ass countries. I'm from Miami, Florida. I live in Florida. Like I just jumped off the plane from these far ass places, paid for by other people, just because I'm a cool person. What part? Like if that shit makes me delusional, you might want some of this delusion. I'll be honest. Like you might want to be delusional like me if that's delusional. Like I got the results to prove my life is pretty good. My life is amazing based on the rules that I set up for myself. Like my life is pretty damn good. And the person like, nah, you're just delusional, bro. Like you're just delusional. At first it was a joke. And then 2 days later, my friend really got serious about this shit. Was like, yo, I gotta explain to you, like, you're delusional. Like, I gotta explain you're delusional, you're delusional, you're delusional. I'm like, yo, okay, now it doesn't, and it's not so funny anymore. What you mean I'm delusional? And the person like, you just don't consider the same things that other people consider. You know, like you go out into this world and you say these things and you do these things, but you're not considering things that other people are considering. And I'm like, what the fuck? So wait, I'm delusional because I don't consider things that other people consider? Do you know how hard I work to not consider the same shit other people consider? I don't want to consider none of that shit. These people are living fucking terrible lives. If I lived by their rules, I would have nothing in this life. I should be homeless under a bridge somewhere living in Miami. You know what I'm saying? I like that sweater. Thank you. It's actually a t-shirt. It's not really a sweater. But thank you, Tina Cole. Nah, you on track. Genji, nah, I'm telling you, like this person telling me I'm delusional and doing their best to convince me I'm a delusional person, which does not feel good to any creative person. Like, don't ever tell nobody who is in pursuit of a dream that they're delusional, because it just sounds like you're flattening my tires. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't feel like anything motivating. It just seems like delusion is you just feel like you're just flattening my tires for some reason. I dig. Telling you, Alex, Breeze, everyone has different considerations. For sure. So this person's like, you're delusional because you don't consider things that other people consider. Like, what am I supposed to consider? What, my career status? What am I supposed to consider? My lack of education because I didn't go to college? Like, what am I supposed to consider? The fact that my parents never held down any kind of sustainable job and we moved around a whole bunch as a kid. The fact that we lived below the poverty line our entire lives. What am I supposed to consider? Based on the way other people live their life, based on where I come from, I'm supposed to either be in the military or be some kind of drug dealer or be in prison. Like one of those three systematic approaches I'm supposed to be a part of. But to be somebody who's creating my own lane in this world, that's impossible based on where I come from. Statistically speaking, like I was an F3F student for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that I'm so well spoken now, and the fact that I got this big library of books and people call me a pretty smart guy now, lets me know, okay, I don't think I was the one fucking up. I think the school system I was a part of was probably worse than me. You know what I'm saying? Just my opinion. I found out that the school doesn't really reward you for your intelligence. School rewards you for your obedience. Like based on how well you can do what I told you to do is going to determine your grade, not based on how well you actually did whatever the assignment was. If I don't show my work the same way that you taught it to me, I get an F. What if I found a way to calculate this and get the right answer a different way? It doesn't matter. You're still going to get an F because I showed you this way, so you must do it this way. That's fucking crazy. That's indoctrination. That's not education. Indoctrination teaches you what to think. Education teaches you how to think. You're not teaching me how to think. You're teaching me what to think. You're teaching me do it this route. That's why motherfuckers can't cure cancer or cure AIDS now, because you're only showing them one route. And if you penalize a person for not going down the already pre-established route that can't solve most of America's problems, we're going to get deeper in debt. And we have been getting deeper in debt. Like, let's be fucking for real. This country's been going down here for a long time because we keep systematically doing the exact same things that was only created during the Industrial Revolution that was less than 200 years ago. So what the fuck are we actually doing? You know what I'm saying? Come on. BB, how old are you? I'm 30 years old, BB. Like, we have to take these things into consideration. Some people call me crazy because I sit and I study, like, older men, right? Men meaning, like, Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller, Cornelius Vanderbilt, dudes who lived like 100 years ago. They're like, why the fuck are you studying these old ass figures throughout history? I'm studying these old ass figures, as you say, throughout history because every day that we wake up and we engage in this rat race in the United States of America, we're just waking up, plugging ourselves in and running on a treadmill. But we're never stopping to ask ourselves who created the treadmill that I'm running on. If I want to get out of this game, why wouldn't I learn from the person who made it? The people who made the system that we're living in right now were the titans of industry during the what is it, the Gilded Age or whatever they called it, during the turn of the century in the early 1900s and late 1800s. Those smart ass guys, those guys who were owning, John D. Rockefeller owned Standard Oil, which created the big ass oil boom in the United States of America. Cornelius Vanderbilt owns the railroads. Andrew Carnegie ran U.S. Steel, which was running all the steel for the Industrial Revolution. All these men in their own time were the wealthiest men in the world. They're the ones who created the school to prison pipeline. They're the ones who created the system that we live in right now. They're the ones who created the 40-hour work week. They're the ones who created the standard for living that we have right now. And we're acting like this is the way things have always been. It has not always been like that. Before these guys did what they were doing, the world was radically different. Wasn't nobody thinking about going to school, getting a job, and staying there forever. Want to know why? Because before they were alive, that shit didn't exist. There wasn't no going to school and getting a job. School was for the few and for the rich. Getting a job was something that was kind of like relatively irrelevant because a lot of people didn't really have jobs. A lot of people just worked at things. Farmers didn't have a job. They just grew things and then traded those things for other things. Cooks didn't really have a job. They just made things and then sold those things that they made. You know, it wasn't really like this formulaic approach to everything. And so when I sit and I like study some of these guys and I'm studying them intentionally, I'm like, because we're not taking the time to stop, zoom out of the game that we're in and say, okay, who the fuck made this game that I live in? You know, like who made this system that I'm a part of? If I don't understand who made the system, how can I ever get out of this? Nah, I got to do some research. So I said it to say like we as a people, we got to like approach this world differently. So when my friend was sitting there and telling me how delusional I was, I took offense to that shit. And I was like, what do you mean I'm delusional? And she looked up the dictionary definition of delusion. And I can't remember all of it, but I remember it was something about walking around with false beliefs. I'm like, yo, if the dictionary definition of delusion is somebody who's walking around this world with false beliefs, and you believe in the system, and you believe in going to school and getting a job and working for 50 years to get some social security check and some retirement, and I believe in working for myself, which is the way I think God really designed each and every one of us to have a skill and have a trade and then trade goods for those things that we can trade with. I think that you're actually the delusional one and I'm probably the one who's just living outside of the matrix. And that's just my thought process. Nobody has to agree with me. I'm probably fucking dead wrong to somebody in the world, but I'm choosing to sit here and say, okay, cool. I'd rather challenge this machine. And I'd much rather say, okay, there's a better way of approaching this and there's a better way of doing it than this 40-hour work week. Why? Because we've been seeing people do this for 60, 70, 80 years and they all die miserable, fucked up, unhappy, and unhealthy, and unloved. A lot of people who dedicated all their time to, Linda, thank you for the like. A lot of people have dedicated all their time to just working and getting a retirement. First off, didn't even really live long enough to enjoy the retirement. And during that time that they were working, bruh, they neglected their family, they neglected their health, they neglected their community, and now none of the things could serve them later in life. These people they're dying all fucked up with broken bodies and broken hearts and broken dreams. Why would I plug myself into that system and say I'm gonna do that? That shit is fucking crazy, bro. Broken body, broken relationships, and broken dreams. I don't think so, bro. That shit sounds crazy to me. My kids don't like me. My back is fucking hurting. And I'm begging the government to give me a little bit more money on my retirement. And then the life that I thought I was going to live when I was a teenager, I didn't live that life at all. Nah, bro, Linda Kid. So true. Honestly. And this is like, we see this. So in the world that we live in today, we got to challenge that. We got to sit and we got to say, okay, bro, if this is how things are going and this is how things have been going, and most people who retire die a short time after their retirement, it's like, bro, we weren't born to be beasts of burden. We weren't born to just like work and then die. Like work yourself to death and then die. No, that's not what we were born for. You were born to live an incredible life. Give something to the universe. Raise your kids. Raise your family. Enjoy good food. Enjoy good sights. Know when to work and then know when to rest. Know when to give it your all and then know when to pull back. Like we were born to know these things about ourselves and know these things about the universe. But we don't. We neglect these truths. We neglect this information. We neglect knowledge. We sitting and taking whatever TV's giving us. We sitting and taking whatever the coaches and the teachers and doctors and the lawyers are giving us because we perceive these people to be professionals. And I can give you an entire dissertation on how medical doctors aren't really that fucking advanced. Like they can't really help you. What they're really programmed and taught to do in medical school is prescribe you something or cut something out of you. If you've noticed, I don't know many doctors who are going to sit there and tell you that, look, the cause of your ailment is based on what you're eating. Here is a better eating regimen for you. Stop eating this shit. exercise this much so you never have to come and see me again. No, I know a doctor that's going to say, I'm going to prescribe you Ozempic and a little bit of Tylenol and a little bit of Motrin and a little bit of this, that, and the third. And if any of that fucks you up some more, then next time you come back here, I'm going to cut something out of you. I'm going to cut out a kidney. I'm going to cut out a cyst. I'm going to cut out a tumor. I'm going to cut this out, cut that off. Diabetes, when a person's leg get all infected, they cut. Man, my uncle had diabetes. They were cutting his leg off like religiously, like piece by piece. And so, man, I've seen this so many times, and I've seen people just use the system, live under the radar, fly under the radar, and live these really uneventful, meaningless lives. And I choose to not subscribe to that. So I say all that to say, a friend of mine was convincing me I was delusional, and I think that they're the delusional one, because that to me seems fucking crazy. To continuously do the exact same thing millions of people are doing in hopes that I'm going to be the one outlier that's going to do the exact same thing and get a different result is crazy. The definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over and again, expecting a different result. You're not going to get a different result. You're not going to get anything different. You're not going to, change the world by doing the exact same thing that the world has programmed you to do that will not allow you to change the world. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. In your opinion, where do we as a top country need to focus our career development? In my opinion, I believe that as a top country, for example, I came across this video that was talking about the difference between the United States version of TikTok and the Chinese version of TikTok. The United States version of TikTok glorifies fads, glorifies dances, glorifies trends, glorifies, pretty girls, and glorifies, whatever kind of thing that it like trends, pranks and stuff like that. Like it glorifies entertainment. The Chinese version of TikTok glorifies innovation, robotics, technology, commerce, science, engineering. Like when you go to China and you open up your TikTok, it's going to show you the coolest thing that a robot just did, and the coolest thing that the next technological advancement, and then like history, and it's programmed to educate their citizens, whereas our version is programmed to make us a little bit dumber. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, cool. I think that we as a people, if we want to get to the next level as a top country, we have to start investing more in educating everybody to be innovators, to be people who are geniuses, to be people who are infatuated with ingenuity, and be infatuated with design, and be infatuated with engineering, and be infatuated with commerce, and be infatuated with growing wealth. America has done a really good job of creating workers. And that goes right back to the John D. Rockefeller, Cornelius Vanderbilt, Andrew Carnegie conversation, because these men wanted to create a country of workers, and they did a good job. They're like, it's only 20 of us that run the country when it comes to business ownership, but the other millions, hundreds of millions, we need them to work at our companies. Cool. So our school system just teaches us, our school systems and our entertainment system, it just teaches us how to be dumb and how to be workers. But if America was smart, the reason why everybody's so scared of China right now is because China pushes the shit out of their people for excellence. If you're not excellence, you might want to, take your own life, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of how serious they are about being excellent in everything. So I think us as a people, as long as we highlight invention and ingenuity and engineering and new ways to have technology work for us instead of against us, as long as we start creating thinkers and people who create more, then I think we're gonna move into a higher, better space. Some of the top people on the Forbes list are, white American males in the tech industry. You know what I'm saying? Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs is one of them, Larry Ellison, Larry Page, Elon Musk. These are just kind of white, or Elon Musk is technically African, but these are white American males in technology. Mark Zuckerberg in technology, involved in networking, involved in systems, involved in programming, involved in engineering. That's where our country is going. So instead of trying to create somebody who's going to be a good factory worker, you got to create programmers. You got to create engineers. You got to create people that are going to break the mold when it comes to building and innovation. We need new architects. We need people who are infatuated with breaking the mold and accelerating our life. You know what I'm saying? We need people that are infatuated. I need to read on that. Good looking out. Absolutely. Tiffany, thank you for the follow. We need a country of just thinkers, people who are really imaginative and inventive, and people who do not subscribe to this 40-hour work week shit. That shit was created between the 1900s to the 2000s. That shit that's not the standard of living. It was something that was meant to be seen as if it was created to see if we could create a good country of workers that will work, but it ended up working against people because a majority of these people now in the United States of America, our economy has tanked since they started putting that information into the school systems because we don't create innovators anymore. We don't create people that are like radically changing the world the way they were used to. That's why all this like all the money in the United States is going to other countries, going to China, it's going to Thailand, it's going to all the other places. All the other places are doing these menial jobs that we don't want to do anymore. And it's like, man, like you've created a world of like lazy people. You created a world of people who are confused and conflicted. You didn't create a world of geniuses and entrepreneurs and innovators, which that's really going to be the thing that like takes us to the next level and keeps America as a world power instead of allowing China or Russia or any of the other countries to just, become better than us. I always tell my son, keep watching basketball and football. He's going to be LeBron James one day. And he might be LeBron James one day, honestly speaking, because if LeBron James never saw football or basketball, then he probably wouldn't have been LeBron James. But like, I think that instead of your son being LeBron James, he should be a Robert F. Smith. For those who don't know, Robert F. Smith is the richest black man in America. He's worth $8.1 billion. He owns a company called Vista Equity Partners. It's a firm. What is it? It's a private equity firm. So pretty much his company buys other companies. And his company buys other companies that are primarily involved in tech. This goes right back to what I was saying. Like every Sunday, just so you know, I'm not just some like encyclopedia. Every Sunday I choose a different person to study for the week. And when I'm in the gym in the morning, I just listen to whatever YouTube is telling me about this specific individual who I chose to study. So Robert F. Smith, a lot of people know Robert F. Smith. A lot of people don't know who Robert F. Smith is. Like go and look up Robert F. Smith. He's the richest black man in America. But a lot of people found out who Robert F. Smith was because in 2019, he's the black man who got up on the stage at the Morehouse graduation and paid the entire tuition for the entire graduating class in Morehouse. Like this dude got fucking bankroll. He got money. You know what I'm saying? Never heard of him. Why? Yeah, Robert F. Smith. I mean, his name is also like one of the most basic names in the world. Like, bro, you're like a few characters away from being John Smith. Like that doesn't get any more basic. But his name is Robert F. Smith, richest black man in America. And he's just got bankroll out of this world. He's worth $8.1 billion as of last year when I looked him up. And sounds white, to be honest. Yeah, he's a black man. He's a black man from Denver, Colorado. And bro, he's extraordinary. You know what I'm saying? He's an extraordinary thinker. He's like he's just a high income earner. He's a high value individual. I'm not gonna speak on his morality because I don't really know him like that. Study Elon, but disregard his race. What is he proposing? Elon Musk is an interesting character too. But going back into Robert F. Smith, Robert F. Smith is like, you could be LeBron James because this person, Jack Daniels, said, I tell my son to watch football and basketball all day because he's going to be the next LeBron James. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But like, you should want him probably to be the next Robert F. Smith. You know what I'm saying? He's the richest black man in America, and he's going to be, I think the world is going to appreciate the contributions of somebody who is innovating in the tech space and who's paying off an entire graduating class's tuition and creating funds, like creating a fund to continuously pay off that tuition, then they're going to remember a basketball player. I'll be honest with you, because what Robert F. Smith did affects so many lives. What LeBron James is doing is more like, it's great and it's entertaining and it's awesome. You can win a championship. You might not win a championship, but how the fuck is that helping my kids? You know what I'm saying? Versus what Robert F. Smith did, I can send my son to Morehouse and I know exactly which avenue and which fund and which grant we're going to apply for that's going to allow my son to go to this school and have his tuition paid off for free because of something that one man decided to do in 2019 that most of us don't even know. Study Elon but disregard his race. What is he proposing? I like Elon Musk a lot. Like, I'm a big fan of him. I think that his level of innovation is extraordinary, and I think that a lot of people will say that he's one of the smartest people like in the world today. Like he's a very well-educated man. At the same time, I feel like he's someone who we should watch and we should monitor him and we should definitely like model ourselves after to a certain degree. But when it comes down to a deeper level, we can't just sit and idolize anybody. We have to take whatever they're giving us for what it can do for our lives individually. Do you think it's a certain mental capacity? Like LeBron has superior physical gifts? No, I don't think it's any like superior mental capacity. I think Flavor Flav is a very educated man. These comments are just extraordinary. Do you think it's a certain mental capacity? I'll be completely honest. No, I don't. Because the mental capacity of any human being can be elevated as long as that human being is motivated to make that happen. Like, for example, change, right? we're talking about elevating the mind. Change is something that's very hard for people. People like to use the word like it's hard to change, it's hard to change, it's hard to... Me personally, I feel like change is easy, right? And I always use this terminology. Change is easy as long as change is the only thing that you want, right? It's going to be very hard for you to change if on your list of priorities, changing is like number 8 or number 9 or number 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be very hard for you to change if that's your priority. Like, if I want to watch Netflix, eat out, take my girlfriend on a date, hang out with my boys, get drunk at the bar, and then change, it's going to be very hard for you because it's low on your priority list. But when you bring change to the very top of your list, it's very easy to change. It's very easy to cut out anything that you want to cut out. It's very easy. We've seen people go from 300 pounds to 150 pounds. We've seen people be completely stoned out on every drug you can imagine, kick every single drug, and live an incredible life. Like, we've seen people change time and time and time again. But the one catalyst to all that change is that they just made that shit a priority. Like, they made that change a priority. At the top of their list became change. I want to lose weight now, and I'm not going to wait, and I'm not going to fuck around with this, and I'm not going to play around with you. I want to change today. And so you're going to start changing. You're not going to make all the changes you want in one day, but you're going to like get up there. Like, change is easy. So when you're asking about like the mental capacity, Shaq, I think that mental capacity doesn't really play a part only because you can increase that mental capacity. I'm speaking from experience, bro. Like, I was not the kind of person that like was into reading at all. My little sister used to like reading books, and I never liked reading books. And I used to look at her reading them fucking books while I was watching TV, and I was like, "What is she doing, bro? That looks..." And she would be reading a book in a corner of a room, and then out of nowhere, she would just start laughing. Out of something she read in the book, she would start laughing. She would break out laughing, and I was like, "Bro, you got to be fucking kidding me! There's nothing in that book that can make you break out laughing. What's wrong with you? That's impossible. Like, what's she doing?" And so I was not a reader. She was. Eventually, I heard people give this saying. Like, I heard somebody say, if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book because he'll never find it, right? And when I heard somebody say that shit, I got so offended. I was like, what the fuck do you mean by that? If you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. He will never find it. And that's like a saying. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you being in the live. If you want to hide a secret or you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. It's like a really racist term that America has used for a long time. And I was like, man, that is disturbing. What do you mean by that? So that made me think like, damn, there's a great belief system out here that we are naturally and inherently dumb and inferior because we can't read. So, and also, I just like thinking if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book, he'll never find it. I also think that that's interesting because it's very insulting. It's super insulting because it's like, okay, you're saying that black people never read, right? Without taking any part of this into consideration, the fact that for a long time in the United States of America, it was illegal for black people to read. Oh, but that part you just left out. Like in your fucking stupid ass racist joke about black people just being dumb and we don't read, you forgot that it was illegal for us to read for a long time, right? So that's probably not in our just natural like thing to do. Like, you forgot that. Okay, it's cool. You leave that part out. The same way you leave out everything else out. Like, you're like, oh, black people don't own any homes. Yeah, because you forgot about redlining, right? Like the banks saying that they're not going to give us a loan if we try to buy a house in any of these areas here. And then beyond that, like, you forgot about some of the people that just said, even if on the other area where you can buy a house, I can refuse to sell a house to you because you're black. Like, let's be fucking for it. Even if I did it the long way, bro. Even if I did it the long way and I said, okay, cool, you redlined me so I can't buy a house in that district with the good schools. I can buy a house in this district and I go to this district and then you still say, we reserve the right to refuse service to anybody. And so you tell me that I cannot buy a house even here. Where the fuck am I supposed to go then? You're supposed to go way over there and buy a house. And the house is still going to be owned by a white man and I'm going to charge you top dollar for it. And then that's all your savings. And then I wonder why you have a house but not any money. And then the house is run down and the neighborhood is run down. And then I tell you guys it is because you guys are lazy. We're lazy, but we built this fucking country. Like, let's be completely honest. We work for free for hundreds of years, but you have the nerve to call us lazy. Like, it's really sick. Like, some of these jokes are really sick and really just disturbing. But I say all that to say, when I heard somebody say this comment, like, if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book, he'll never find it. I was like, yo, bro, beautiful word of systematic oppression. Yes, it is. Facts, absolutely. When I heard somebody say, put if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book, you never find it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So what that tells me is that one, that just upset me. But then also two, there's something inside of these books that you don't want me to find. Must be. So I'm gonna go on a treasure hunt and I'm gonna dedicate myself to going and reading some books. The first book that I ever read, I actually got it right here. Oh, not my fault. The first book that I ever read, I was at church, and this guy came and started speaking at the church. He was like, man, if you ever wanted to know the secrets of the most successful people throughout history, and you don't want to have to read a bunch of different books, then just read my book. My book has all the secrets from 12 traits that the most successful people in the world have. And the book is called 12 Traits of the Greats, right? This is the first book that I ever read. And it's because this guy, Dave Martin, this white guy who likes Steve Wilkos, he came to the church that I was going to. I used to go to Trinity Church in Miami. And Trinity Church is popping because Rich Wilkerson Jr. married Kim and Kanye. And so the church is popular. And I'm from Miami, so it's just what it is. So that's the church I was going to. And this guy came and spoke. And he plugged this book so hard. And I was like, bet. So I was like, I'm going to get that damn book. And I'm going to read that damn book. And nobody can tell me anything. And so I put it into my head that I'm going to read a book that the school didn't force me to read. And that I'm going to read this damn book because I'm going to read it because I'm going to read it. And so I went, got it, and I was like, man, all right, for sure. I'm going to open this book up, and I'm going to read it. And as soon as I open this shit up, I fell asleep. And as I'm trying to read this shit, and it was the most, irritating process ever. This goes to show you, when you go to do something, it's going to hurt first, bro. That shit was so, I felt like my skin was on fire. I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm reading this word after word after word. I was so bored and so irritated, beautifully born different. Yeah, you know the vibes. I was so bored and so irritated and so annoyed and so turned off by this shit. I was like, ugh, fuck books. But I couldn't throw it away because I was like, man, no. I told myself I was going to read this book. I'm not dumb. I'm smart. I'm going to force myself to read it because I'm going to force myself to read it because I'm going to force myself to fucking read it. And I was just forcing myself, and I started forcing myself and forcing myself. And after I forced myself long enough, it eventually became interesting. And then something happened. Mind you, okay, so quick little side note. At this point in my life, I was working at a gym. I was just working at a regular gym, and stay lifted. Thanks for the follow. I was working at a gym, and I wasn't pursuing my dreams. I love music. I've loved music for a long time, but music always felt impossible for me to make. And I was naturally a really shy person. That's why I listen on Audible, the ones available. I like to read those. Now, Audible is fire. I got my Audible loaded up right on this app. As soon as I jump off of here, I'm going to jump back on Audible. There's a book on there. There's this book I'm actually listening to on Audible right now. Because I was listening to it in the gym earlier today. But this is a fire book. So I'm naturally I became a shy person. I used to get picked on a lot. I had really bad teeth. I didn't have any money. My family was struggling. And Miami, boy, could be fucking cruel, bro. Miami was cruel. And I became a really shy, reserved person. And after I became so shy and reserved, I became just really into myself. And eventually, I was like, okay, cool. I started working at a gym, and I wasn't pursuing music. In this book, there's a saying that changed my life. It changed the trajectory of my life completely. I was reading this book, and in the book, it said, what are you afraid to fail at? And I was like, what? I was curious about it. And it said, whatever you are truly afraid, for anybody who doesn't know where they want to go in life, listen to this. Whatever you are truly afraid to fail at, then the presence of that fear may be a key indicator that you've accurately identified what you really need to be doing with your life. It's in that book. He says, whatever you are truly afraid to fail at, then the presence of that fear may be a key indicator that you've accurately identified what you really need to be doing with your life. And I was like, oh, what? So wait a minute. Pretty much, whatever I'm the most scared to fail at is what I'm supposed to be doing in my life. That's my life calling. Yes. And he went on to discuss how the amount of fear you feel is an exact proportion to the amount of love that you naturally have for it. Even love that you probably can't mentally process. It's a love that's even beyond your brain, because your brain isn't paying attention to it. Your brain is thinking about whatever's in front of you, but your heart is calling out to something specific. And so I was like, oh shit. So I had to ask myself, what was I really scared to fail at? I was like, okay, I could be a lawyer, I could be a doctor, I could be a soldier in the military. I'm like, okay, I could do all those things, but none of them made me scared to fail at them. I feel like I have infinite chances to be a doctor. I have infinite chances to be a lawyer. If I fail the test, I can take it again. If I fail the class, I can take it again. I could be a soldier. If they kick me out, well, hopefully they don't kick me out. But like, if I don't do well, I could just do well. If, if I'm out of shape, I can get in shape. If I know how to pass the test, I can learn how to pass the test. Like, and nothing scared me to fail at it. But the only thing that stopped me was music. I was like, the only thing I would be scared to fail at is music. And I'll be scared to fail at music because it takes a lot. It takes a lot of courage to put music out. Like, you have to be very vulnerable. You got to write a song. Then I got to perform the song. Then I got to go and meet a lot of people and talk to a lot of people. I'm fucking scared of my own shadow at this point. Like, I can't do that shit. That's a lot, And I did the research. In fact, I say that I'm a singer and creator, yet I'm in transition, but I've overcome a lot. Perfect. Same. Perfect. All of that. Perfect. I'm telling yo, we in sync right now. We in sync. Beautifully born different. Like, man, I'm fucking scared of my own shadow right now. Like, I can't do that shit. That shit is way too painful. Statistically speaking, it says that, and this is a statistic from when I read this book, which was like 2014, so years ago. It said that 9 out of people are more afraid of public speaking than they are of death, which is crazy to me. It's like, okay, so if you have 10 people in the room, 9 out of those 10 people are more scared of public speaking than they are of death. So that means that 90% of people in this planet would rather die than speak publicly. I would rather fucking die than go and speak in front of these people. That's crazy to me, but that's the statistic. I'm more afraid of public speaking than death. Death for sure, because I'm gonna have to die eventually, but I can avoid public speaking my whole life. That's crazy to me. Like, that's a crazy ass statistic. Which book again? That's 12 Traits of the Greats. First book I ever read, I had to force my fucking self like nobody's business. But I forced myself and I got into it. And once I got into the reading, man, the shit got crazy. But yeah, this is the book, 12 Traits of the Greats. Russian, that's sad. That's super sad, Russian. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, 90% of people would rather die than speak in front of a room full of people. That's a crippling fear that we all have. You know what I'm saying? I'm a performer. I'm not afraid. I'm done. It's just a lot. I'm telling you, like, it's a lot. It's a lot for me too. Like, that shit was terrifying to me. So when he said that in the book, when he asked that question, he was like, whatever you're truly afraid to fail at, that, because I never heard nobody word it like that. Like, he didn't ask me what I'm afraid to do. He said, what are you afraid to fail at? Like, that little key switch up might be like heavy for some people right now. Like, you might hear that right now and then you might be gonna, because when I asked myself that question, the only thing I was scared to fail at was music. I'm like, that shit is terrifying. I would hate to fail at that shit. Anything else, I got a million chances. But if I fail at music, I'll die. And when that was the only conversation I had, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So that means music is the thing I'm supposed to be doing. That's crazy. And that's scary. And it's been scary. And it's been crazy. And it requires so much courage on a regular basis to keep going with this shit. Like, it's hell. But the person that it's created inside of me, the person that it made me like to have to pursue this, has made me like, this is the only thing for me forever. I totally understand it now. It's not the fear of failure. It's weird, but it's the fear of and weight of success. Honestly speaking, that is a whole nother top tier level conversation of fear that most people never even really get to. And that goes right into that Marianne Williamson quote. You know what I'm talking about? If y'all ever seen Coach Carter, it's in Coach Carter too, but it's a Marianne Williamson quote that says, we're not, our greatest fear is not our fear of failure. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is that we are, hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Fuck that. That's one of my favorite quotes. Like, our greatest fear, yeah, here it is. That goes into that shit. Like, you're not afraid to fail. You're really afraid to succeed. This is the Marianne Williamson quote. It says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. And it's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson. Fire shit. This is one of the best ones ever. The responsibility. Yup. Yes. Yup. God made us to be great. We are created in his likeness. Absolutely. Yeah, man, beautifully born different. Honestly speaking, I know exactly what that feels like. Like you're not afraid that you're gonna fail. You're afraid that you're gonna succeed, and you're afraid because that success is gonna thrust you. The success is gonna push you into a place you've never been before, and so now, like, you start challenging yourself. You're like, damn, if I could barely handle some of the things that I'm dealing with now, what the fuck is that gonna feel like? So you're kind of scared of what's on the other side of that door because you know you're going into that door regardless, and it's scary. Coming out of therapy, I'm happy I got to watch you. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Beautiful, more different. No, I'm happy that I chose to go on live, man. Y'all let me know. Y'all think I should keep going live? Y'all think I should just, turn in the, what is it? How do you give up? How do you give up again? It's like turn in the hat. I don't know what it is. You think I should just give this up forever? Or you think I should keep going live? Y'all let me know. My self-esteem is on the line. You have to put out a book, seriously. I actually did put out a book. Honestly. I have a book. You can find it on Amazon. I got to start pushing the book again, too. But I've been looking at other things. I got a new project coming out, so I'm more focused on releasing this new project that I got. But yeah, I got a book that just talks about manifestation. It's not really like anything crazy, but here's a book. It's called Materialize, My Top 10 Manifestations. These are the top 10 dopest moments that I've ever manifested in my life. Like I've been on Sway in the Morning, been on the radio, I got free trips. I just told you about 2 more free trips that weren't even involved in this book. Love, like my relationship, business partners, music career. I just talk about all these different things. I had no idea what I wanted to write a book about because I don't feel like I'm an expert on any of this shit. I just feel like I'm just like scratching the surface of a lot of it. But somebody was like, man, put out a book, bro. I was like, all right, let me just talk about, cool shit that I found a way to manifest using the law of attraction in my brain and my hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to hustle and then you got to manifest and then you got to like do other shit. But it's cool. Let's see. Keep going live. We need to hear. Okay, bet. I'll definitely keep going live. I've been procrastinating on writing my children's series, releasing new music. Yo, procrastination will kill everything, bro. I will check it out for sure. Please do. Yeah, you can find it on Amazon. Materialize by King Hoodie. My top 10 manifestations. It's a dope book. I think most people will like it. So, yeah, check it out. It's really just talking about it's super quick. You could probably read this in a day, honestly. Yeah, I wrote this in like a few weeks. It's small. It's a super small book. But yeah, get it. Actually, there's a link. You go to KingHoodieMerch.com and get that. So King Hoodie, KingHoodieMerch. KingHoodieMerch.com. Yeah. I've been procrastinating on writing my children's series. Yeah, don't procrastinate, man. Procrastination, I heard somebody say this. Procrastination is the assassination of your destination. I think it was. Pretty much like if you procrastinate, it's just gonna ruin everything. And like God doesn't play around with wasted potential. That's one thing I'm learning now too. Like God doesn't have this endless timeline for us. We have our grace and then we have our grace period. And if we miss our window of opportunity for fear or whatever the case may be, God is gonna take whatever is meant for us and give it to somebody else. Like I had a whole experience with that last year, like this same time last year. It's like, and the new project I'm about to release is that conversation. It's like, yo, what you think is for you will eventually leave you because you're not using it. Like this world, if you don't use your muscles, your muscles are gonna have muscle atrophy. Like they're gonna wither away and they're not gonna be able to be used anymore. Like most people come out of a coma, got to relearn how to walk because that energy, if you're not using it, the universe know how to recycle, bro. The universe don't mess around with wasted energy. It's gonna take that away from you. Whatever you're not using, you lose. If you don't use it, you lose it. So it's like, yo, get it popping. Facts, you're right about that. I've experienced it. You keep going. I'm hungry. Catch you next time. Peace, beautifully born different. Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Hold on, let me follow you. Bam, following you. Yeah, let's definitely stay connected. And Alice, let me follow you as well. Bam. Yeah, man. Honestly, like, we got to stay on point. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. Whatever you're scared to do, just do that shit. Do it scared. Do it scared. I do everything I do scared. I'm fucking terrified because in my heart, I still feel like I'm very much so that same introverted kid that didn't want to talk to people or felt like I couldn't talk to people. But now I'm like, man, fuck that. I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it scared. Why? Because one day we're all going to die. And when we die, we're not going to be happy about the things that we did not do. We're going to be very upset about the things that we didn't do. We're going to be very pissed off. And we're going to be very upset. And we're going to be very we're not going to enjoy this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of your life, you want to be able to say, yo, man, I faced my fears with gusto and I faced my fears with power and I faced my fears with shit that made sense. You know what I'm saying? So just do it, bro. Imagine yourself 80 years old, sitting on your deathbed, or 80, 90, 100, however years you're going to be, sitting on your deathbed and thinking like, man, what do I wish I would have done earlier in my life? If the answer is I wish I would have fought harder, made my dreams come true, made all those scary calls, took all those scary trips, did all those scary things, put myself on the line, then do those things now, man, because you're going to thank yourself later. You're going to be like, man, I'm so happy that I'm brave. I'm so happy. Like, even right now, if you want to get your mind right, just write out all your accomplishments. Take a clean sheet of paper out and a pen and write down everything that you've accomplished in your life. Every trophy you've won, every competition you've won, every diploma or degree that you have, every good deed that you've done. Write out every accomplishment that you have in your life. That shit will turn you from depressed to happy in an instant. You know what I'm saying? You'll be very excited. You'll be very happy. You'll be very encouraged. You'll be like, damn, I really did do some hard shit. Like, every time you raised money you didn't know how you was going to make, you made a bill, you paid a bill you didn't know how you were going to pay. You know, every time you've ever done something that was like crazy or weird or like out of the way, like, you'll be really happy at yourself if you list out all these accomplishments and then you look at them every day like, man, I accomplished that, and that. Damn, I'm on fire. I'm amazing. I do deserve this next great thing that I'm doing, whether it be a house or a car or a career or a relationship. I've done all these incredible things, and what I want is this thing over here, and I'm not going to stop until I put that thing on this list of accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are ways to like biohack your mind into making life fun and making life a game and making life a trajectory that you really want to enjoy instead of a trajectory that's like, I'm headed down. So yeah, I'm about to jump off here because I just am. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I appreciate y'all for listening. Follow me. If you're not already following me, follow me right now so that you get notified the next time I go live, because I definitely want to tap in with some of the cool people that have been tapping in with me, all 11 of us. And yeah, man, like, let's get it popping. I'm going to keep going live. Let me know if y'all like these 10 a.m. lives. And yeah, I'm just going to work on keep making the content better for y'all. Follow me online. And yeah, peace. Y'all have a great day. All right? Peace.